theme that was given to us for this project is the satisfaction of the Centre of Foundation Studies International Islamic University Malaysia students within the campus life. The topic that we have chosen is the health management of the students of the CFS in Iium. These days, students are too busy with their studies that causes them to neglect their health because their time are occupied with classes, discussions, and also examinations. There are only a few students that can manage a balanced and healthy lifestyle. The main objective of this project is to find out the health management of the students of CFS in Iium. Other than that, we want to find a way to improve the health of the students of the CFS in Iium, and we would also like to provide solutions to the students' irregular sleeping schedule. On the other hand, some of the variables we managed to obtain is the average body mass index, the student time management, the quality of the students' meal intake, and last but not least, their exercise routine. The source of our data is from those who answered the prepared questions through the online survey that we had carried out for a period of 2 weeks. Therefore, our sample specifically includes 50 students of the CFS in Iium after excluding the outliers who gave non-valid data. The sampling method we've decided to use is the simple random sampling. Through this method, all CFS students in Iium have an equal chance of participating in this survey, no matter their gender or the course they are currently taking. While doing this survey, there are many difficulties or restrictions that we encountered when collecting data information. One of the challenges is false data input by CFS students of Iium. This will result to hardship in analyzing the data in order to obtain a correct summary for the next survey. Next, the second difficulty when collecting data for the survey is some of the respondents keep the question in the survey, so we have received many incomplete surveys. There are also a few restrictions while doing our survey. The questions issued were sensitive, thus the questionnaire were made anonymous. Thus the result from the survey is from both genders, which could lead to some biased results, such as most female students are underweight, so the percentage of the underweight students are a bit larger. Next, some questions were hard to analyze as the question asked gave respondents a broad range of answers, which also allows individualized answers. The outliers were removed because answers received from respondents are not appropriate. Questions that requires non-quantitative answers were given nonsense answers. For example, respondents answer to the question like what is your regular exercise with answers like stretching after waking up or even walking to class every day, which doesn't make sense. While some answers are also incorrectly entered, this happens mostly to the quantitative answer questions. For instance, questions like how many hours do you sleep in a day? Some respondents made a mistake or they purposely put an answer like 16 hours a day, which doesn't make sense. Next is because answers for quantitative questions receive vary too much from the mean answers, which will skew the whole calculation. The data values received differs greatly from the majority of data. For the question, how many times do you exercise in a month? Some respondents answer with such big values like 30 that will alter the result of frequency distribution theory. This is the sample of questionnaire that we gave out to the students of CFS in Iium to answer. And this is the data that we have received from the survey that we gave out to the CFS students in Iium.
Based on the data that we have collected, we came up with this frequency distribution table. Okay, this graph shows how many students exercise in a month. For 0 to 3 exercise in a month, there are 23 students. And next, for 4 to 7 exercise in a month, there are only 16 students. And for 8 to 11 exercise in a month, there are stated only 9 students in this graph. And last but not least, for 12 until 15 exercise in a month, there are only 2 students stated in this graph.
This particular bar graph shows how much exercise is done by Centre of Foundation Studies students of Iium. It appears that as number of exercise increases, the frequency number of students doing it decreases. This makes sense because the more number of exercise done means more time is needed to do it, whereas students are busy with studies and assignments to exercise frequently. Furthermore, on certain days, classes would finish at 6 p.m. and students need to rush to perform prayer, giving them no time to go and exercise. The most frequent number of exercise done by students per month are between 0 to 3 times. This indicates that most students don't exercise on a daily basis. This may be due to busy schedules as a student where their time will mostly used to revise their studies and also for doing assignments given. A quite number of people exercises between 4 to 7 times in a month, and this is appropriate amount of exercise needed for a student in a month's time, which means that the students exercises at least once a week in a month duration. Whilst a very few number of students exercises as frequent as 8 to 11 times a month or 12 to 13 times a month. These students may have extra time in their days, or it's just because they are living a healthy life.
So this is the calculation for the mean, median, and also the mode. So the mean is 4.7, and the position of the median class is the 25th position. So the median class is 4 to 7, and the median is 4, while the model class is 0 to 3, and the mode is 2.567. This is the variance, standard deviation, and also range. As you can see, the variance is 12.41, the standard deviation is the square root of variance, and which is 3.523, and the range is 15.
So based on our calculation and based on an article posted by a doctor, specifically Edward R. Leskowski, which is a doctor for Mayo Clinic, which is a known clinic from America. He suggested that one should do a minimum of 225 minutes of exercises. Now, as a generalization, our survey, we concluded that a session of our students will take about 30 minutes of exercise. So if we take the median value, the mean value, which is 4, and then 4 times of exercises, we will take around 75 minutes per week. Minutes of activity in a month. That is 75 minutes per week. Now, if we take that one session of activity is 30 minutes for our students are short of 105 minutes of activity. This would mean that our students are around a middle way of exercise, not too extreme and not too lazy of exercising, which means that our students are basically practicing a mediocre lifestyle. Now, our data from the standard variation, from the standard deviation and variance, our data is spreaded more closely to the mean, and this means that our students maintain an average of 4, and it maintains throughout the 50 students of our
Okay, in conclusion, health is a very important matter that must be taken account to every student's life, as it determines their well-being during their stay in the campus and their productivity rate, as well as their performance both academically and in co-curricular activities. Okay, based on our result, most of as it determines. Okay, in conclusion, health is a very important matter that must be taken account to every student's life, as it determines their well-being during their stay in the campus and their productivity rate, as well as their performance both academically and in co-curricular activities. Okay, based on our result, most of the students practice an average number of exercise per month. This shows that CFS Iium students maintain a mediocre fitness, which often relates to the saying, healthy body, healthy mind. Although the number of students who often stay update for their assignment disturb their normal sleeping habits, which could lead to higher stress level. In addition, their regular tendency to skip meals, especially breakfast, could interrupt their focus in lectures. As a recommendation, uh, based on our uh, based of this major problems, students should complete their assignment early instead of procrastinating, which could lead to busier week than usual in order to recover their usual sleeping regimen. They also could purchase some bread and jam as an adequate quick to go breakfast, so they can have their energy to go to the class. Student also can perform or build a systematic timetable in order to manage their activities with either studies or in such as go go to exercise in order to maintain a healthy body. Uh, that's all from us. Thank you.